Want to learn more about how things operate at Travel Hacking Mom? Today, we're taking you behind the scenes and sharing why we started Travel Hacking Mom, how we make money, and some advice for those of you who want to start your own business. Welcome to the Travel Hacking Mom Show. We are three moms who've discovered how to leverage credit card welcome offers to get hundreds of thousands of dollars in travel expenses for nearly free. We've used credit card points and miles to take vacations to places like Hawaii, Paris, Greece, the Maldives, Italy, and so much more. And the best part? We each still have an 800 plus credit score. Imagine being able to book a vacation without having to check your bank account. It's totally possible, and we're here to show you how. Hey, I'm Alex.
And I'm Pam, Alex's mom.
And I'm Jess. We are Travel Hacking Moms. Today, we thought it would be fun to talk about the business side of Travel Hacking Mom, why we started THM, how we make money, and more. So Alex is going to kick it off with how Travel Hacking Mom came to be.
Yeah, so I started Travel Hacking Mom in December of 2018. So it's been just a tiny bit over 5 years now, which is really crazy to me. I remember starting it and being like, I wonder where we'll be in, 5 years, what this could be like. Never imagining that it would be more than a hobby. I mean, I think you start things and you imagine like, oh, this would be so cool if this became a real business. But I think a key thing of why Travel Hacking Mom has been successful is even if it didn't become a business and it was just a hobby, I always loved doing what I was doing. So I think we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But it started in 2018. I had been travel hacking for a couple of years at this point, and I had a lot of friends asking, how do you do this? How is this even possible? Like, this is crazy that all of a sudden your family is taking these trips. And I would start to talk to my friends and I would see their eyes glaze over. And I was like, oh, I've lost them. I said too much. And so I was like, okay, it's fine. I'll just send you to this blog that taught me how to do it. They explain it well. Like, you're going to get it. And then I went to go find the blog that I learned from, and it no longer existed. And so I would search the internet to try to find good beginner friendly blogs to send them to, and I didn't see one out there at the time. A lot of the stuff that was out there was ran by men, and they were talking primarily to men, and it wasn't super beginner friendly. It was more advanced and, a lot of business class travel for business travelers or single men. I didn't really see a lot of stuff geared towards family, and I definitely didn't see women represented. And so I thought, if I'm not seeing what I'm looking for, maybe I should just make it. And so that's what I did. I thought about it for a few months before I dove in. I spent a lot of nights learning how to make a website, lots of nights and days, putting together a WordPress website because I wanted to have some customization. I wanted it to look nice. And now when I think of that first website, we've since had a designer come in and create our website, but it didn't look great. But when I did it, and I think that's the big thing is just starting. So anyway, I did that for 6 years or 6 months, not 6 years. For 6 months, it was just me doing Travel Hacking Mom. And it was a lot of work. My goal was to put out like one blog post a week. And at this point, my kids were pretty young. I had 3 kids during this time. And I wasn't traveling a ton at this stage of my life. And so I didn't really have a lot of content. But my mom over here she started travel hacking at the same time as me. And so I thought, I should see if my mom wants to do this with me. She's traveling a lot. She's already been in the blogging space. She used to write for a popular couponing blog. And so she was already really very familiar working in this space. And so I invited her to join me. She joined me and it was great. Mom, do you want to add anything?
Well, I can remember you calling me. I can remember the exact date. And you said, I think I'm going to start a blog. I think I'm going to create do a website and teach people. And I thought, whoa, that is really brave of you. And I'm so proud of you for doing that. go you. And I remember her doing it. And then I remember when she asked me to join, and I had been a nurse, but I was retired and I had time on my hands. And I thought I loved telling people about how I was using points and miles for nearly free travel. I thought, how much fun would that be to actually write it down? I think I'd written a couple posts for you too that you
Mhm.
used in the meantime. And I thought, I love getting that down on paper and having that to refer to or to help other people to do it. And I thought, yeah, I think I can do that.
Well, I remember we went on a trip to Greece, and it was me, you, and my sister Lindsay. We weren't doing travel hacking mom at this time. This was probably about 6 months before I started, and you were even like, "Oh, I would love to just write every time I go somewhere, I wanna just, like, write a review and be able to share what it's like visiting this place on point." So in your head, you were already thinking, I don't think you ever thought you'd actually be doing it as a job, but you knew it was something that you'd be interested in.
Exactly, and it is. It's just really fun to be able to look back on some of the trips that I've done, and when I read it back, I can kind of relive it. So I was all in.
Yeah, so it just all started from us feeling like, "Hey, we're not really seeing ourselves represented in travel hacking. This seems like it could be a good opportunity to, you know, have some women representation." So that's how we got going. So Jess, how did you start Made Possible by Points? So for those of you that don't know, Jess previously Made Possible by Points is still around. That's she still has that Instagram account, but we have since merged. So give us the backstory on how you decided to start teaching people all about points and miles too.
All right. It's kind of a long story. I'm going to try and like speed it up. So I previously, before I even had Made Possible by Points, I had another fitness Instagram account because I'm a certified personal trainer. And so I had a fitness Instagram account. I started sharing things about travel hacking in my stories on that account. And I quickly learned that my followers were more interested in travel hacking than they were in exercise. And so I was like, okay, but I don't want to just randomly start posting travel hacking stuff on this fitness Instagram account. And so in July of 2021, I decided I was going to make a separate travel hacking account, and I had absolutely no intentions of it becoming a business or monetizing it at the time. I didn't even know that that was an option. I didn't know how that worked. I had my job as a lawyer, and that just was not on my radar at all to make this into a business. It was purely like, I've been doing this since 2015. I want to share it with other people. The world had like shut down during the pandemic, and I was very depressed about not being able to travel. And it just like made me feel good to share my previous travels that I had gone on. So I started Made Possible by Points. I distinctly remember being at lunch with my husband on July 4th, and I was like, I need to come up with a name. So we're brainstorming names. And he was like, well, what is it? Like, what's the point of this account? And I said, I just want people to know that it's possible. Like, I want them to know that it's possible to travel on points. And then he was like, Made Possible by Points. There it is. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes. And so that's how we came up with the name. Started in July 2021. And Alex and I quickly became like fast friends on Instagram. I had followed Alex on Travel Hacking Mom for like a year, I think, before I even started my account. So that's kind of the story about how Made Possible by Point started. I think like maybe a few months after I started my account, Alex reached out about monetizing it and getting credit card affiliate links. And I was like, oh, that's a thing. Like I didn't even, I didn't know how any of that worked. And so I was very clueless. But yeah, so Alex really helped me like get started with the whole monetizing thing. I would not be here. Obviously, I wouldn't be here without them, but Like, even if we had never merged, I wouldn't have been able to do it without her. So I'm forever indebted to
That's
Alex.
very nice of you. Someone else would have been like, "Oh, we gotta get this girl affiliate link. She knows what she's doing." So, I just beat everybody is really what it came to. I
Basically.
discovered you before everyone else came knocking on your door.
Okay, so some of you are probably wondering, how did the merge happen? How did Travel Hacking Mom acquire Jess? Well, like Jess said, she'd already had a relationship that she'd started with Alex, so they had a friendship. I remember we met up with Jess and several other female travel hackers in San Diego, and we had a really good time. And I had met her for the first time, and everything clicked. We had similar readership. We both were doing a lot about families, a lot about women. At that time, Alex and I wanted to expand what we do. I really wanted her to do a podcast, and she was pushing back a little bit because she has 4 very active boys, and there's only so much you can do as a business owner with that, and we had some other ideas. We also really liked what Jess was doing. We knew she had a really good course, and we had a course, but we didn't feel like it was probably near as good as her course. And so I'm kind of a competitive person, and so I would kind of be looking at what she was doing and feeling that competitiveness. And all of a sudden, one day in the shower, I had an epiphany. And it was, why are we competing with Jess? Let's join forces. And I remember calling Alex and I said, because Alex knows that I'm competitive. And I says, "Alex, you are not gonna believe what I'm gonna say next." And I said, "Why don't we ask Jess to join Travel Hacking Mom?" And she says, "You're right. I cannot believe that you're saying that."
I thought I would have been the one to say, because I mean, we all got along, but Jess and I were good friends at this point already, and you guys, like, knew each other, but it was, like, kind of a surprise that it came from you. But I was like, "Okay, well, let's, like, talk about what this would look like. Are we can't just be like, 'Oh, we're gonna have Jess join and pay her, you know, an hourly wage to join us.'" We were like, "If she's we're gonna make her a partner, like, she's gonna be a business partner." And so it was a really big decision to be like, "Okay, we're gonna divide up our business among 3 of us now." So
Yeah, I remember we went to Park City, Alex and I did, to kind of make plans for the next year and to kind of talk this out. And it was kind of scary at first because we're thinking, okay, right now we're dividing everything. Now we're going to be splitting it in thirds. We totally expected that our business income would go down. We hoped that it would just be for a month or 2, and then with everything that Jess offered, that it would go right back up. But honestly, I've gotta say that epiphany that I had was genius because, the 3 of us just hit the ground running. We had a podcast running, we had her course, we did an advanced course, and it was just nothing but good stuff.
And I think I don't have we ever shared the story in the podcast about the first time we met at the Andaz San Diego and they put us in rooms right next door to each other?
I think we did maybe on an earlier episode, but I'm sure not everybody has heard it.
Yeah, so Alex is still convinced that I told the front desk to put them next to me,
I
but
like to tease her about it.
I assure you I did not. So I arrived first at the Andaz San Diego
This
is
is the
where
first time we met in real life.
yeah, so this was
Just
December 2021. Um, I arrived at the Andaz San Diego, got my room, checked in, and then I had told Alex I sent her my room number and I said, text me when you get here. And so they arrived a few hours later and she was like, wait, your room number this? And I said, yeah. And I hear a knock at the door and it's Alex. And she was like, we're right next door to you. And I was like, what? That's crazy. So I always kind of felt like that was meant to be, that was like our sign that, I don't know. I really don't even believe in meant to be, but that was my meant to be.
Well, it was just funny because we were there with we were meeting a big group of people.
Yes.
Nobody else was near us that was from the group. So it was kind of quote unquote meant to be that you were near us.
I think now, Alex, you're going to talk about how we even make money and how this is a business, really.
Yeah, so I'll kick it off and then I'll let you we'll each kind of take turns to share some different things. So when we got started doing this, we went a long time without making money.
This was just you.
Yeah, it was just me and my mom. So we had our referral links that we would put out there. So so everybody's up to speed, there's difference between a referral link and an affiliate link. A referral link is from the credit card company. And if you have, for example, a Chase Sapphire Preferred, you can get your referral link to then send out to your friends and family. And then you will earn points when they use it. And it maxes out. Usually you can do 5 in a year. So we had those, and that's what we would do. That was like the kickback we were getting from all of this work was a handful of referrals each. So we were doing that. Then actually my mom reached out to Zach from Travel Freely. We've talked about the Travel Freely app before. And she was just like, hey, I found this app. It's really cool. We should see if this guy wants to, if he has an affiliate program. Well, then we learned he had credit card affiliate links. So with affiliate links, you get paid money, so dollars from the bank for promoting their cards. So we switched over. We still have referral links, but we just share those primarily with friends and family. And so we switched over from using our referral links on our blog and elsewhere to using affiliate links. Now, affiliate links, yeah, that's how we started to make money, which we'll talk about affiliate links in a minute some more. But so we started in December 2018. It wasn't until summer 2021 where we started to make, it became more than just a hobby. Before we would make maybe, $400 a month would be a pretty good month. We'd each make $200 and we're thinking, wow, this is really cool. We just made $200 and we're doing something that's really fun. So summer 2021 was when things with Travel Hacking Moms started to really grow. That's when Reels started to become really popular. And so we were able to have some viral Reels, and it was through about 3 years that I was at 3,000, Travel Hacking Mom was at 3,000 followers about. And so if anyone feels discouraged that, I'm not growing quick enough on Instagram, 3 years at 3,000 is not very quick growth. But we stuck with it. We loved what we were doing. And then Reels came out, we started to grow. We went from 3,000 to 15,000, and then from 15,000 to 96,000. And then it just has continued to grow off of that. So summer 2021 was when we were able to be like, okay, yeah, I think this could be a business, and maybe we should start having some strategy here instead of just flying by the seat of our pants.
I think one of the things that kept us going is that we loved what we were doing. Even if we weren't making much money, we loved being able to share about travel hacking. And the fact that we were getting those referral points was just like icing on the cake. I remember saying, yep, I don't even care if we ever make money. I'm getting some referral points. I can travel. I love spreading the word. And if we make no money, I'm happy and it doesn't even matter. And I remember that summer of 2021, my mouth dropped when we started making money. When all of a sudden, I remember there was 1 month where we had like $500, and the next month we had, several $1,000s. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I remember saying, this is a fluke. This will never happen again. This is the coolest thing, but it will probably never happen again. and it kept happening, and it was so exciting, but a lot of it, again, like Alex said, is like, we just had to hang in there. I mean, if we had quit because we weren't making much money, it never would have gone into what it is today. So, moral of the story is the only way you really lose is by quitting. Hang in there, and you never know what will happen.
Okay, so now we'll get into the actual things that make us money. Jess, you want to go first?
Yeah. So course sales obviously make us money. And so back when I was made possible by points, I created a course, a Word Travel Academy, and my entire goal with that. So at the time that I created this course, I was still working my 9 to 5 job, corporate lawyer job. And I really wanted to quit that job. But I still had some loans from law school, and I was like, "I can't quit." I just had it in my head, like, "I cannot quit my job until I've paid off my law school loans, and, like, I just need to be done with those." And so I created this course, and I basically had the idea because that's just how I learn the best. Like, to me, our course is like a combination of a podcast episode and a blog post. So you're hearing us talk about it, but you're also seeing the visuals of us explain it. And to me, that is the best way to learn. And so I created this course and I launched it May 24th, 2022. I remember the date because I purposely launched it on 5/24. So, May 24th, 2022, I launched the course after spending months on weekends and nights creating this course, like after my daughter went to bed, because I was so motivated to get this done. And with the money that I made from launching the course, I was able to pay off the rest of my law school loans and quit my job. So, I love courses, and since then, May 24th, 2023, we launched Award Travel Academy Next Level. So now we have 2 courses. We sell them individually, but we also sell them as a bundle. And so the money that we make from those obviously goes into the business.
Okay, so next up is affiliate links, which I talked about. So there's all sorts of types of affiliate links. You know, if someone's talking about something on Amazon, they might throw in an affiliate link so they get a kickback from the Amazon or, different stores and things like that. We don't do a whole lot of that. We have a few different types of affiliate links out there with, maybe some search engines, award flight search engines, things like that. But primarily, we focus more on credit card affiliate links. So those ones I mentioned where the bank pays us for promoting their cards. So we appreciate it so much when you use our affiliate links to open new cards. So, one thing to know about affiliate links is it does not cost you anything. The offers that you use from Travel Hacking Mom. So we partner with Travel Freely. That's who manages the affiliate link program that we go through. And the main reason that we partner with Travel Freely is because they guarantee to put out the best offers. So a prime example of this is American Express cards. So like the Amex Gold, Amex Platinum, we have affiliate links for those cards, but I would say 95% of the year, we aren't actually using our affiliate links because the points that they are offering on our affiliate links are lower. So it might be like you can get 60,000 points if you open the Amex Gold and spend $4,000 in 3 months. But somewhere out there on the internet, Amex might have another offer that says you can earn 90,000 points if you spend $4,000 in 3 months. So instead of putting that 60,000 point offer, which is the one that Amex gives us to promote, we don't use that link. We use one that has the better offer that we don't make any money from. But we would much rather have you get more points than us make money. So that was really important to us when we decided to partner with them. Is as travel hackers ourselves, we want the higher offer. So we know that you want it too. So I think one thing is you can rest assured knowing that when you're using one of our links, you're getting the best offer. You don't have to go search for it. Um, Another thing I wanted to mention about affiliate links is if you are accessing our links on Instagram or on our blog, or accessing our blog through Instagram, then you go to a link, the links don't work if you're inside Instagram. So if you get a pop-up that says, "Oh, you need to go into this happens with Chase." I think it's the only issuer that does this, right? So you might get a pop-up that says, "Oh, go to the app and then apply for the card." When that comes up, it doesn't actually work, and it works for you. You'll get the card, you'll get your points. We just don't get paid for that. So if you do see that pop up anytime, we would appreciate it so much if you just open that link in a new browser. So if you're on your phone, go to Safari, copy and paste it, put it in Safari, put it in Chrome, whatever you use, and then that assures that we still get credit for that sale. So I know it's annoying, but we really appreciate that.
I think it's also an issue with Facebook too. So if you
Oh,
are
yes, it is with
in
Facebook.
our Facebook group, we will often post links there. That's another time where if you try to open it through Facebook, it's probably going to give you either an error message or tell you to open it in the app. And so, like Alex said, we would really appreciate it. I know it's a pain to like do that extra step of opening it in a new browser, but we really appreciate it. And the thing is, when you just Google a card, if you just Google Chase Sapphire Preferred and you go to the Chase website and you apply through their website, someone is still going to earn a commission, but that someone is Chase. And so we like to think like, hey, instead of giving Chase more money, maybe direct that to us and then we can continue putting out all the content we do on our blog and on this podcast and on our Facebook group and Instagram and all of our channels. And so we really appreciate it.
Okay, so Pam, tell us a little bit about some of the other ways we make money.
And the next couple ways, this isn't a huge amount of money that we make, but we do offer strategy sessions, and booking consults. These can be booked on our website under services. So a strategy session is a 30-minute Zoom where you usually talk to me. I do handle most of these, and you just ask whatever questions you want. So it's kind of like a one-on-one with a travel hacking mom, and you can just quiz me about things that you're unsure about. There's a lot of teaching that's done. Talk about what the next card that you might want to get, a strategy session for getting to a certain place. And these are recorded on Zoom, and you get a copy of that video to refer back to. And I've had a lot of people say that that was some of the best money they ever spent because they just were able to fine tune getting answers to the questions that were most important to them. The other, with the award bookings, some people just absolutely have trouble booking certain flights. And so they will ask us to do that for them. And then we look for those flights. We send you the information about them. And once you finish paying for that award booking, we will send you a video on how to book that flight and any information you might need to get that done. And so that makes it a little easier for people.
Okay, and then another way we make money, this isn't a huge one for us either, is sponsored work. So we do sponsored work for Reels or on TikTok occasionally. We're pretty picky about this. Like we'll get emails that say, do you want to try a weight loss supplement or I don't know, really random things that have nothing to do with travel or nothing at all to do with travel. So we just, we don't do any of those. So we don't do a lot, but we have done in the past. We've worked with IHG. What are some other ones that we've done? I can't even think because we don't even do a lot. But, this is something I think that we would like to expand on. We just only want to do sponsored posts and reels with products and brands that we naturally already use and not just things that are, we don't want to just do this to make money and annoy you all with all of these sponsored things. We just want to stick to, okay, this is something we know and we love, and you might know and love it too. So yeah, if you see us doing sponsored work, you'll know, okay, yeah, these girls actually like this thing. It's not just some random thing that they're doing to just make money.
I think the other thing with sponsored work is that we have like my thing has always been like when I was made possible by points, when I was setting the prices for my courses, I was like, I'm going to charge what I'm worth. Like my time is worth something, my expertise is worth something. I'm going to charge what I'm worth. And we do the same thing with our sponsored work. And so a lot of times we'll hear crickets when we tell people what our rates are, but I'm not willing to compromise on that because like we have built this business, we deserve to be paid fairly. And so that's something I've always been really big on, and I'm bringing Alex and Pam over to that side also.
Well, and the problem is too, is you get into this whole sponsored work thing and you have some creators who are really willing to do things for a really low price. And then you have other creators like us and some other friends of ours that are trying to really charge what they're worth. And it makes it hard for those of us that are trying to charge what we're worth when other people are willing to just do it for less.
But yeah, so I would say as far as THM making money goes, 95% of our revenue is course sales and affiliate links.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we just thought it would be fun to kind of touch on a couple of the things we've learned and advice that we have if you wanted to start your own business. And any type of business, not necessarily a travel business or an Instagram business, any type of business. My first point of advice would be to invest in a course. Whatever it is you want to get better at or learn how to do, and you want to be able to teach people, I would invest in a course. I myself invested in a course called Insta Success. And that was so I mean, at this point I had been, just plucking along on Instagram for 3 years trying to figure things out. And I was like, you know what? I have been doing this for a long time. Maybe it would help me speed things up if I found an expert who already knows how to create a travel business, become an Instagram travel content creator, and learn from somebody who's already done this, has proven what works and doesn't work. So I invested in Christina's course. Her name is Mac. It's at Max Explore. And what I did first is I watched a webinar of hers, and then I liked what I saw, and I thought, I want to be part of this community. And so I did that. We actually did a webinar with her, which we can link in the show notes if you're interested in learning more about. If that's the kind of business you're interested in doing, is being a travel content creator. It's called How to Get Paid to Travel Without a Big Following. And we'll link it in the show notes. It's just a free webinar if you want to learn more about that. But that would be one of the first things I would suggest, is you can save so much time if you invest in a course to help you out.
So, Alex, I think that when you started going viral and when things really changed for us, it was after you had taken that course. Isn't that right?
Yeah. Okay, Jess, what advice do you have?
So mine is that you should start an email list. And that is because you can have hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram or TikTok, but you don't own those followers. You don't own that list of people. And so if you were to have your account hacked, if you were to lose your account for some reason, your access to those people is gone. You could literally lose your business overnight. And so I think starting an email list is one of the first things that people who are wanting to start a business should do, because then you have all of those people's email. Like if we lost our email account, we could still email our followers and have
You
a
mean if we
way.
lost our Instagram account?
Sorry, if we lost, I hope we don't lose our email account. Okay. If we lost our Instagram account, we would still have a way to communicate with our followers. The way that we did it, and I think it's the most recommended, is to have what's called a lead magnet. Because if you just tell people, sign up for my email list and don't give them any incentive to do so, they're not going to do it. So we have a few different lead magnets for our email list. I think one of our very first ones was our transfer partner cheat sheet, and that's the one that tells you which banks transfer to which airline and hotel transfer partners. We've since come up with a few more, but that is my number one advice. Develop a lead magnet that your ideal audience is going to want, and then incentivize them to sign up for your email list by offering that free lead magnet.
The other thing too about Instagram is I'll even notice this myself where I'll think to myself, I haven't seen a post from so and so in a really long time. That's really weird. I wonder what's going on. And then I'll go look at their account and they've been posting, they've been sharing stories. The algorithm just hasn't been pushing it out to me. And so if you're just relying on the algorithm to let your followers know what's going on, they're probably going to miss it. But if you send an email, and every week they're getting so we send a weekly newsletter every Friday. And in that we have our blog post for the week and then any pertinent news. And so okay, they're going to get the information even if they're not seeing it on Instagram. So I think that's another big reason for having an email list too.
So I kind of have alluded to what my best advice for starting a business is already, but it's to love what you do. You just want to absolutely love it, be excited about it, be happy to share it. Like I said before, we were happy doing this even when we weren't making any money. It was something that was just exciting. And we wanted everybody to know about this because we thought everybody thinks it's too good to be true. And we were able to be proof that it wasn't too good to be true. We wanted to share that with other people. And so if you absolutely love what you do, I just really think you're going to be more successful.
Okay, so the last piece of advice that I have, and this is something that I heard and I held on to this very tightly when I had these moments where, oh, this is so frustrating sometimes. And because we made it sound pretty rosy that, oh, you just love what you do and it's going to be great. But there's moments for sure where it gets frustrating, where it's a lot of work. You get in those creative slumps where you just feel like nothing's really working right. But what I held on to was something I heard was that you only won't be successful if you quit. Now, that doesn't mean it's how long it's going to take, but eventually you'll get where you want to go. The only way you won't get there is if you quit. And so I just held on to that knowing, okay, I'm not going to quit. Eventually, this will probably start making more money. As long as I just keep going, this could become a business instead of just a hobby.
So, of course, we have to give a huge thanks to all of you who tune in, read the blog, tell your friends and family about us, invest in our courses, and use our affiliate links. Thank you so, so much for supporting our small business. And if you enjoyed this podcast, it would mean so much if you left a review. Thanks again.
Thanks so much for listening to the Travel Hacking Mom Show. Make sure to hit the subscribe or follow button from wherever you're listening so you never miss an episode. Want to start jet setting even faster? Follow the links in the show notes to learn about everything we discussed in today's episode. And to stay connected and follow along, follow us on Instagram at Travel Hacking Mom. We can't wait to see where in the world Points and Miles take you.